Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Play Sport as usual. As things stands, actually, we are going to dive deep into the states of Kaiser Chiefs, the good and the bad, and what's need to be changed. And joining me for this conversation is none other than the football analyst, which is Mesh, as usual, guys. Mesh, welcome to the show. Kaiser Chiefs fans have been going through a roller coaster of emotional lately. Let's start by talking about the current performance and season analysis. What do you think is the biggest issue affecting Kaiser Chiefs this season?
Hey Mula, how are you, man? It's a long time.
I'm good, man. And you, man?
Baza bayibuyisana chane.
Belethe back, mnganami.
I know, standard. And also just to greet the listeners. Yeah, hey, Gubi lapha Chiefs. Hey, Gubi, because I don't know. The issue is in many things, you know. The issue is in many things. It's in the players. It's in, you know, it's in the coach as well.
We're suffering from network. We're suffering from network.
You think what?
Yeah, you can carry on.
All right. Yeah, man. You know the issue is in many ways. I'm not sure if I'm clear. If you're able to hear me.
Yeah, we're clear. You're clear.
All right. Yeah, man. The issue is in a lot of things. You know, the coach, the players. You know, and even us, the fans. But at this current moment, the ball was in the court of the players and the coach to get the results. Because we were not supposed to win the league. Yes, understandable, right? But we had to choose what was easier, finishing number 3 or having to get to the final for Nedbank Cup. Which one was more difficult? The one that is difficult is if we are in the semi-final with Sundowns, it will be a very difficult match for us. And that will make or break the season. Finishing number 8 or finishing whatever and then qualifying for CAF Confederation, I think it will still mean that we had a good season. But finishing number 8 with no CAF Confederation qualification, you know, it's going to really show that we had a horrible season. One wouldn't even mark it better than the previous season. The only thing to mark better is that we're in the top 8. That's all.
Okay. Yeah,
so the issue that is there at Kaizer Chiefs right now, I will say that the coach and the players really had the ball in their court. At some point, we were adrift from number 3 about a few points, like 3 points. At some point, we were 3 points away from Polokwane City. And look now, Polokwane City is at number 6. They've been dropping points. As they've been dropping points, we never collected the points to go above them. They're still above us by, I think, a point or 3 points somewhere there.
Yeah.
So it also shows that our form hasn't been good. And our form not only hasn't been good, but it hasn't been good even against the teams we're supposed to beat. I can accept Pirates. I can accept, you know, Sundowns losing to those teams. But, you know, certain teams like Cape Town City, you know, being able to get a full 4 points from you guys, you know, the season, you know, I think it's things like that begin to show us that a lot still needs to be done. And there's a lot of underlying issues in the team.
Yes. Now, asking you another question, which player have been the most consistent performer for Kaizer Chiefs this season?
Dudley has been the most consistent performer. Kele hasn't dropped anything ever since he has started. Dove, once he also came in, he hasn't underperformed. Bruce Vuma has been very consistent, maybe 1 or 2 games where he didn't do well, but nonetheless, he has done well throughout. Miguel has done well. Who else can I name? Up front, it's horrible. Cirino, not consistent. Shabalala, not consistent. Duba, not consistent. Dupree, like I can name, in fact, the whole attacking lineup, no one has been consistent. You know, no one has been consistent. Vilagazi also, when given the opportunity to start, you know, he doesn't seem to bring that fire. But, you know, he's very good also coming in the second half. And we saw against Stellenbosch, he put the game to bed. We look at Lilepo. Yes, Lilepo is a quality player, but also hasn't been consistent, you know. There are matches or there are moments in the matches where he's completely out of the game. where
Yes.
he's literally just getting the ball and just passing because there are no options up front.
Yes.
You know, so I will give it to the. I will give it to also Mteto. I'll give him Teto a nod, but mostly I'll give it to the defense and the goalkeeper. If I
Okay.
combine all the games, the defense and the goalkeeper have been very consistent because the defense, they only struggled in the beginning of the season, maybe about 5-6 games going in, and then after that, defense had been solid.
Okay. So, without also wasting time, if you can, I can ask you about the coach's tactics. Do you think that they suit the team playing style?
No,
Okay.
yeah, no, the coach has gotten a lot of things wrong. The coach admitted that he doesn't have the full material that he needs to cook. If
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't have the full material that he needs to cook, why does he go into games as if he has the material when he doesn't have the material,
Mm-hmm.
according to him? You know, there are games like Richards Bay, the one from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It baffles me why we are not playing three at the back with such games because
Mm-hmm.
we know that they're going to sit back, they're going to relax. So we need to be strong at the back, but at the same time, still be an attacking team, you know, using the flanks. I don't get why Solomons needs to be put at full back, you know, and you find Solomons is pushing up front there, you know, relying on his speed that he will run back to cover, right? But then if you actually allow Solomons to play as a wing back, he doesn't have to track back as much. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, he can be a threat and stay up front,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So the coach has gotten it wrong. Um, I don't know if it's pride. I don't know if it's what he believes in. I don't know if it's the players not understanding the tactics, but the coach has gotten a lot of games wrong. The approach to a lot of games has gotten them wrong. I don't get why Blom hasn't paired with Kele in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get why we know some of the combinations we haven't seen. I don't get why Frosler, you know, has been dropped. Maybe he's injured or suspension or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know. You know, I don't get a lot of things that the coach has done.
Yes.
I don't get why Modi gets the nod over Potane, you know, over Cirino every single game when he doesn't give anything more than the other two, you
Yes.
know. So the coach has really certain things wrong. Certain players, you know, he has favored certain players, and that has put us in a position where we are dropping points or we drop
Yes.
points. There was no reason for us to drop points against Cape Town City.
Mm-hmm.
Ntu Shabalala, very great young player, you know, so much potential. But what did he do? He missed the one-on-one.
Mm.
Again, I cannot blame the coach for one-on-ones. Modi has a lot of one-on-ones missed. You remember the one against Pirates? I cannot blame the coach for that. That's why I say that the ball has been in the coach's court and the players' court.
Yes. So as
The
things
fans have been supportive.
yes. So as things stands, what changes do you think the club needs to make to improve the results?
Honestly speaking, I think the approach to games, you know, there are certain teams like Sundowns, Pirates, you know, where you can use a back four. But we know how the teams in South Africa play. They like to what? They like to sit back.
Mm.
So when teams like to sit back, you need to change the approach. You cannot say that you only play your system, and whereas your system is not working. And you know, you'll hear people saying that no, but the assistant coach he can do this. You know, Cedric Kaze can do this. He can do that. If they are not advising the coach now and letting him know that this is what's supposed to happen, then that means it's South African football. They also haven't gotten the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you right now that signings will not help if we're still playing like this. If we're still missing one-on-ones, you know, there's nothing. There's how many one-on-ones are we going to miss? You understand
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we can get more signings, we can do all of those things, but it's not gonna aid that much if we are still playing the way we're playing because we are shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yes. So
You'll hear that.
sorry to cut you. I wanted just to be fast a little bit, and then I wanted to go to the next question, where I think it will be about transfers and squad improvement. And which areas do you think Kaizer Chiefs should strengthen in the next transfer window?
We need a goalkeeper. We need a playmaker in the middle, whether it's a playmaking number 8, a playmaker that's a number 8, or a playmaker that's a number 10, because you know certain players are very comfortable Modi's too comfortable. Sirino's too comfortable. Shabalala can be very comfortable. Dupree seemingly comfortable. There's a lot of players that are too comfortable that seemingly don't have a lot of competition. When the players come on, they don't excel in that position. So it's possible for them to get the nod when the other player gets injured or something like that, So another thing is we need someone who can match Tele, the caliber of player that he is. We need someone who can match him. We need someone who can match Lilepo, someone who can dribble, shoot, and do all of those things on the other flank.
Yeah.
Modi is not doing those things on the other flank. That's the problem. Modi is just, running, doing well. Obviously, he's got a lot of energy. He's able to integrate with the team, but, he needs to, the same way with the previous game against Richards Bay, he was crossing. He was doing a lot of, attacking work, which was good. But unfortunately, it didn't help us because Dupree has shot. It didn't help us in any way because, Dupree, and there was no link with the striker. And another thing is that we also need, someone who's going to be a lethal striker. Someone, all these one-on-ones that I'm seeing, I always think I would have scored that. And I feel like it shouldn't be like that,
Yes.
I feel like the opportunities we're missing should be difficult opportunities, not easy opportunities.
Fair.
Missing easy opportunities, it takes down the level of work that the coach has done. And the coach has done amazing work. We were a defensive team in the previous seasons. Now we're an attacking team. But listen to this stat. Sundowns and Pirates are the only two teams that have more shots than us in the Premier League, right? And then we are number 3. But when it comes to the conversion, we are number 9 in terms of the teams in the country. So we have more shots. We have more shots than 13 other teams. We have more shots than 13 other teams, right? But we are so bad that we're not even in the top 8 of conversions. Our conversion rate is 10%, meaning that every time we if we take 100 shots, we'll only score 10 goals.
Fact. So, do you believe that the club management is also doing enough to make Kaizer Chiefs competitive?
Yes, no, the management has done enough. The management has done enough. The management has been going according to what the coach has been wanting. The coach said he wants to trim down the squad. The coach said he wants to play all the players, and the coach has done that. The coach has played every player. And sometimes it's very disappointing because it's the players that I prefer to be on the pitch are sometimes giving us the bad results. There's a lot of slack against, Mart, about how Mart is not doing this, Mart is not doing that. But, there are moments where when he's not on the pitch, you can see that, damn, we're missing Mart. We're missing somebody who just gonna run around, just be all over the place. Maybe not, help us with the through balls and, things of that nature. But someone who's not going to let someone run with the ball, someone who's not going to let Figueiredo move from his own half all the way to our half. In the middle, not even on the flanks where he's beating 1 player, 2 players. He's beating 3, 4, 5 players alone. So for me, that's really bad because the starting lineup that the coach put is the players that I wanted to see. And to see those players perform so bad, it really is a call for concern.
Yes.
So I think that management, they've given the coach a chance to get and trim the squad, to select which players should play, which players should not play. And I think that what's next is for the coach, to select who stays, who goes, and for management to agree or disagree on whatever opinion that they have.
Yes. I know, man. Thank you, Mesh, for your time. I really appreciate it. And guys, don't forget EasyBet. The link is on the description. Claim your 50 Rand plus 25 free spins. See you on next lovely video. Mesh, thank you very much, bro, for your time here at PlaySport.
Thank you, Mula. Thank you. I appreciate it, my brother.
Ta.